All the decadent horrors I have seen pale in comparison to that final, crowning thing. I could not look, nor could I look away.
Well, we're going to be seeing that thing eventually ourselves, I imagine. None of these trinkets is worth the money they're asking for it. See, Mercier is maxed out. It would cost 1,800 gold to upgrade Marley's armor. And that's actually another question to ask. So, Sordeval, Vavasseur, and Cardinal are out, leaving us with 1, 2, only 3 people of Resolve level 3 or higher who are available for a mission at the moment. So we're going to be going with a low difficulty mission. Right. Upgrade Fizdalan's armor. But on that low difficulty mission, we will be living without a bounty hunter because the bounty hunter is being de-stressed. And alright. We have a Vestal we can bring though. Let me see something. Okay, so pistol shot does extra damage to marked enemies. I kind of want to try out using an Antiquarian. So let's visit the guild and see if we can learn a few better Antiquarian abilities. Let's see, so... Nervous Stab to give her a direct attack. And then, that way I can probably drop Protect Me. Seems like a reasonably... I don't particularly need Get Down. Though being able to move her back if she gets pulled forward could be good. Let's see. Who else would we want to level up? Let's see what this Vestal knows. She has all the important skills. As for the Plague Doctor, let's level up Plague Grenade. Alright, I think I know what team composition I want to use, and I don't want to spend much more gold because we might need it for provisions. So no, that's not a good excuse. I can afford to spend a bit more. Like to allow the other Man-at-Arms to learn Rampart. And let's upgrade Crush. And Retribution while we're at it. Do I want to upgrade anything else? I'm using Battlefield Medicine because it means I cure Blight and Bleed without using one-use items, but let's upgrade Incision. Alright, this is going to kind of be a team of squishies, but I think I know which team I want to use. Let's see. Kill the Inchoate Flesh. That... I'm really interested in that mission. but I'm not sending this unproven team composition against a boss. So let's drop Protect Me for Nervous Stab. I'm not sending this unproven team composition that honestly seems kind of underpowered because I have 3 squishies against, actually no, Bello was the one that I would draw, against a boss. So that leaves these 3 missions as options. Let's see. A long Exterminate mission. A short Skirmish mission, which would also get me the Damage Stone, which could be exceedingly useful in the hands of the right kind of hero. This really seems like a leper thing, actually. As well as 3 deeds, or a short Scout mission, which would get me the Survival Guide, plus 10% scouting chance, plus 10% trap disarm chance, and 2 portraits. I'm going to go with the Survival Guide. Alright, let's do this. And having a Plague Doctor lets us get 1 anti-venom for free. I guess the Antiquarian gives us a skeleton key for free. I need some bandages. I'll only bring 8 food. The food is really only to stave off the hunger effect. We have 3 different people, I believe, with healing abilities. So we don't really need to use food to heal, but hunger could be very bad. And for a short mission, we only need 2 skeleton keys. Let's bring a couple of holy water, though. Alright. Thralls will explode if left for too long. And don't I know it.
The smell of rotting fish is almost unbearable.
Alright, let's start by going this way. We're gonna have to backtrack. We may as well backtrack a shorter distance. And we've already got loot. A boon at last! You've been here for literally less than a minute, and you're already getting impatient. And, I think I need to rethink my hero positions. Well, let's use Noxious Blast on a Brawler, because it affects his accuracy. Let's see, does Call of the Deep remove the debuff? No, but it does buff his accuracy. But since the Fishman probably would have used Call of the Deep no matter what. Okay, I have learned my lesson. Don't bring a Plague Doctor and an Antiquarian on the same mission together. Because they both prefer to be in center rear, and they can't both be in center rear. Alright, you should be able to finish off the Brawler. Or you can use Rampart, and probably not kill him, and that way he'll die of light damage and won't be a corpse. And let's use Dazzling Light on the other cultist. And Noxious Blast on the other cultist.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Alright. And Nervous Stab. We'll use Divine Comfort because 2 people have taken damage. And now, you are in range of Noxious Blast. And now that everyone is at 100% health, crush.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
A minor antique is... Strange question. I wonder if it's like, is it an effect of the Antiquarian that we can get those? Because I've never seen one of those before. Huh. Oh, this is going to be a long hallway. With a fight in it, of course. Oh, let's hit the shaman with Plague Grenade. Alright, that was definitely a good use of Dazzling Light, because I can now ignore the shaman for the entire rest of the fight. The shaman is just out, because first he'll be stunned, and on his first turn after recovering from stun, he'll die from blight. See if we can stun this one. And hit him with Noxious Blast. And if I can hit this guy with Festering Vapors, he'll be in the same boat as the Shaman. I can, and he is. Now let's just finish off the front runner with a critical hit, no less. He takes damage and recovers from stun, and he dies.
Is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Actually, only the man-at-arms is damaged, I think. So, let's quick heal him. I forgot the trinkets that increase healing, but I'm okay with that. You know, I'm gonna keep them in this order for now, because Invigorating Vapors and Fortifying Vapors, while somewhat useful, aren't really that special, so I think I can leave the Antiquarian where she is.
As the enemy crumbles.
And I got another minor antique. So the key isn't the right one for this. Crazy idea, but nope. Also equally crazy idea. I don't feel like giving up a shovel for it. I probably should have. Honestly, my guess is that it is the shovel. I just don't have very many shovels. And scouting. What do we got? A curio and then nothing. Well, we're gonna get our cardio in on this mission. You're not gonna lose weight if you keep eating like that, though, guys. And a fish carcass. Well, we know the curio interaction for that one.
If only
wow.
could stanch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Wow. Alright, and yep, there's nothing in this room, so commence backtracking. Though there isn't really very much of it this time. Just enough to put a bit of a strain on our torch supply. I almost wonder if, I don't know, maybe they do this if having there be a chance for enemies in a hallway to respawn when you go back through that hallway. It would give you something to do during backtracking, and it would also add a greater degree of tension if you're going back and forth throughout the dungeon. Because as is just kind of like, for a little while, I know that nothing serious is going to happen. I suppose if I had torch level 0, there'd be a chance of encountering a shambler, but once again, this isn't the strongest team composition, so I really don't want to fight anything especially difficult with this team just yet. Good dodge there. And the crate's empty. Alright, we got another room battle. And the monsters have increased critical hits. Well, now that the Plague Doctor's in a position where he can use Plague Grenade... And yeah, nervous stab that misses. Alright. Lighting up a torch. I was considering using Dazzling Light, but I need to use Divine Grace. And stunning is always good. Rampart. Alright. It's redundant to hit the back shaman with Plague Grenade, but the front shaman needs more poison.
Maintain the offensive.
Right. Yeah, let's use Dazzling Light.
Precision and power.
Now I just need to inflict 1 point of damage on this shaman, and he'll die on his next turn. Well, Festering Vapors should do that. And the shaman is out of commission. Oh, now that is a proper flanking. And Noxious Blast to do even more damage.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Yeah, these turns where I inflict 10 points of damage passively through Blight,
No quarter.
that is why I like the Plague Doctor. Okay, Giant Oyster. Let's see what a shovel will do. Prevents the oyster from closing, getting us...
Laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Okay, so we've found another curio interaction. It's the shovel.
Carelessness will find no clemency in this place.
I don't know. I'm pretty careless, and I found a surprising amount of clemency. Also, I am becoming certain that the presence of the Antiquarian causes these antiques to show up as items, which is actually a really interesting mechanic, because combat-wise, the Antiquarian isn't very good at all. Let's see if we can stun this guy to prevent him from using Barnacle Barrier. Like, in terms of direct combat, the Antiquarian isn't very useful. But, if she causes us to get more money from missions... Okay, so it still increases the torch level even if we miss it. If she causes us to get more gold, that can be really useful. And the price of that is just carrying around a less useful hero. Okay, this torch level is becoming dangerous, and I'm not going to be able to use Dazzling Light to fix it. Alright, Noxious Blast. Of course, the more obvious use of Blight is to deal with enemies with high prot, because Blight doesn't care about your prot. Oh yay, spear fishing. Well, it missed.
Death by inches.
And I was an idiot, and didn't equip Defender. Well, Rampart then, on the one that doesn't have the stun resistance buff. Divine Grace. And now he's using Barnacle Barrier. Okay, this one's out, so Festering Vapors. Let's just stack Blight damage on this guy. Of course, the other thing about sickening vapors is that it reduces the enemy's blight resistance, so it actually combines well with the Plague Doctor's blight abilities. Let's use Divine Comfort this time.
Soothed. Sedated.
And he's out. And I need to inflict 4 damage. I think it's mocking me. Well, this should finish it. Even if it doesn't kill him, it will add to the blight damage.
As the fiend
And he dies.
A faint hope blossoms.
Of course, now we have to deal with Seaward Slash that does that. And I forgot to equip Battlefield Medicine, too. Great fool that I am.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Let's correct some of these errors. So if you don't actually know Defender. Gonna gamble that we aren't going to encounter hunger before we find additional food, and I'm just gonna heal the Antiquarian that way.
Wealth beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Alright, this is going alright, but I am starting to get a little nervous. Sack's contents are mine. Also, these minor antiques stack really high. Moving the Antiquarian back 1. Wait a second. So, yeah, Battlefield Medicine and Fortifying Vapors can't coexist. Well, I'll keep the Antiquarian in this position, because Noxious Blast is really what the Plague Doctor is going to be doing mostly.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles. Paid for in blood.
We already don't have enough food to prevent hunger, so I may as well just feed it to somebody so that we have more inventory space. Alright, lighting up the last torch has the benefit of increasing the free inventory space, and it looks like we have 1 battle left, and then we're done. What do we find here? Heirlooms! We have found quite a few crap. Yes, I am very, very afraid right now. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Alright. And he resisted the stun. Noxious Blast. 5 damage per round. Festering Vapors. 6 damage per round, and he has 9 hit points. I need to inflict 3 damage. Okay, and he's just dead. Alright, now I need to do the same thing again to the next one. Okay, Gargling Grab. That's not his final revenge. Alright, Noxious Blast. Dazzling Light. Yeah, there's... Wait, no, his stun resistance isn't even that high. It's only 50%. Okay. Please don't explode, please. Oh, god damn it. Okay. It missed everyone. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that at all. But I'm not complaining. Okay. And we'll use the bandages we just found to treat the Plague Doctor's bleeding.
Nonetheless.
Alright. Okay, it's not worth the risk to go back to that one last room, since it's only one room. So let's return to the hamlet. That...
You will find all manner of great and terrible things in this watery tomb.
I was not expecting the revenge to miss. Though I officially like the Antiquarian. Just, like I said, she causes you to get these antiques, which are worth quite a bit of gold. So, she isn't that great in direct combat, but if you can keep her alive, you can get really valuable rewards. So, Fizdalon is unerring, extra damage to ranged skills, that's alright. Tardif is unerring, that's somewhat less impressive for a man-at-arms. And Sigir is a wheeled adventurer. I guess her experience in the Cove was so terrible that she would rather go to the wheeled as long as it means not going to the Cove.
Back across the Styx. Boatmen be damned.
That... wow. Wow. Sorry, let me read that out loud. By hateful curse or malign miracle, it seems even death may be defied in this damnable place. Only one of these soldiers can be returned to the living. So, my options are the first Houndmaster to fall, Heroi, Bertrand, our rank 3 Plague Doctor, who, for some reason, none of his skills are upgraded, I think. Did I actually not upgrade his skills, or has the upgrade level of his skills been reset? Or Mali. Well, the hero class I have the fewest of these three would be Plague Doctor, and I actually like using Plague Doctor, so the Plague Doctor's the one that comes back. But I'm guessing I need to dismiss someone to make room. So... I could dismiss the Abomination since I haven't made much use of him. But who is the most redundant? I'm guessing I can't just go quick upgrade the stagecoach before I sort by class. So I have... okay, so it sorts by class and resolve level, I suppose. Actually, you know, I'm going to drop my other Antiquarian. I don't really need to have two of them. So I'll drop the one that is of a lower resolve level. And then bring back Bertrand.
Turn yourself now to the condition of those poor devils who remain.
That... I did not anticipate anything like that being possible. I assumed if a hero died, they were completely gone forever. In the meantime, I can afford to spend some gold upgrading the skills of Bertrand's that would be really useful. I never taught him Incision. Yeah, that's all the upgrading I'm doing for him. Let's see what it would take to upgrade the guild, though. So I need 11 more portraits to upgrade Instructor Mastery to rank 4, which would be extraordinarily valuable in difficult fights. So I need, let's see, if I were to trade in all of my busts, that would get me 1. Technically I could trade in 3 busts to get 1 portrait. Let's see about my deeds. Trading in 9 deeds would get me 3 portraits. And I can't trade in crests for portraits because I only have 64, and getting Instructor Mastery would cost 60. So let's look at the blacksmith. Alright, so I would need to gain 23 deeds. Let's see, that would get me 18. That would get me 2, which would bring me up to 20. Wait a second, let me just make sure I did that right. I think I was looking at portraits. No, it would get me 2, which would bring me up to 20. And I can get 3 deeds fairly easily by trading in crests. So... do I want to upgrade weaponsmithing? Or do I want to wait just a little bit longer, wait maybe 1 mission longer, and have enough to upgrade Instructor Mastery, knowing that rank 4 skills would be significantly more valuable than rank 4 weapons? Especially since I can already create rank 4 armor. That is a difficult choice. We're so close to being able to upgrade Instructor Mastery, and we're not likely to be this close again in the near future. I think I am actually going to wait on upgrading Instructor Mastery until we have access to... after I've upgraded. Let me just start over. That sentence was like a 3-car pileup. I'm gonna wait and not upgrade anything until I can get Instructor Mastery up to rank 4. So, I'm gonna hold off on upgrading anything for now. Also, I'm not really convinced we need to de-stress anyone, so all of our gold can go towards buying trinkets, upgrading equipment, and improving skills. So we get the Ethereal Crucifix, which does a lot of damage versus Eldritch and bleed resistance, but reduces max HP. Let me see about what Vavasur currently has. So I could trade Vavasur's debuff amulet, which isn't really that good for this, but I can't really afford it. Let me see. The Solar Crown could be good, but it would cost most of our gold. Let's see about upgrading some heroes. Let's see if Vavasur is not max nuts. So if I could upgrade Sacrificial Stab. Ooh, and Daemon's Pull could always stand to be upgraded. Anyway, I'm not actually completely done upgrading, but I've been recording for a long enough time that before I proceed, I want to get a fresh recording file. So, first I'm going to upgrade Cardinal. How many? Yeah, I only have 1 Resolve level 3 or higher Vestal, so I can upgrade Cardinal's armor. But I am going to get us a fresh recording file. So, this is not the end of the video, but I will be back in a moment.
No rest, no peace for this wretched soul.
Hello, I am back, and this gold is burning a hole in my pocket. Something I'm thinking about is, we have a whole bunch of extra gold. It might be worthwhile to either lock in or remove a quirk with some of the extra. Okay, this is somewhat ironic. So Bertrand, who already died, has a trait that gives him plus 10% death blow resistance. But it might be worth locking in or removing a quirk. Let's see. How many Resolve level 3 or higher people do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. So we could have 3 people in an activity that prevents them from participating. Let's see. The person who I can most easily spare is Sword of All, since I already have a man in those. So, let's see. I'm going to see how much it would cost to lock in Sword of All's Unyielding quirk. Because an extra 10% death blow resist can be extremely useful on a hero who specializes in taking damage. Slugger is another ability that would be good to learn, because I believe all of his damage inflicting skills are melee skills. 7,350. And it's the same no matter which one I use. Considering how much it costs, I want to look into upgrading equipment a little bit more first. I think I'll do it. Locking in enhanced death blow resistance could be extremely useful, so let's do that. And we'll take the gold that we have and embark. Alright, so I could take on the Alluring Siren. I could take on the Necromancer. I could gather 3 holy relics. I could explore. Oh, we actually have champion level missions. So if I were to do the exploration mission, I would get 6 busts. So if I were to kill the Alluring Siren, I would get the Legendary Bracer, 18 crests, and some gold. And if I were to kill the Necromancer, I would get the Candle of Life, which looked extremely tempting until I discovered that it's Antiquarian only, but some really impressive heirlooms. So a Vestal is coming no matter what. That'll be Cardinal. Speaking of which, I should take away the equipment from whichever Vestal has it. Actually, okay, so Cardinal is the Chirurgeon's Charm. I'm going to replace the Chirurgeon's Charm with the Tome of Healing. The reduced max HP isn't great, but the extra healing could be very useful. And then, let's see, I think this should be decided by which team is better suited, which one my team is better suited for. So, let's see, I could bring, the candidates I have are Marrier, Fribois, Vavasseur, Marley, and Bertrand. Those are the people I could bring to this mission. So, if I were to drop in Battlefield Medicine for Incision, Bertrand now has at least 1 damaging move he can use in every position. So, if I were to drop Hound's Harry for Blackjack, then Marley would have at least 1 damaging ability he can use in every position. Let's see Vavasseur's abilities. I believe Sacrificial Stab can be used in any position. So if I were to take on the Siren, I would want people who can all comfortably attack from any location. And let's see, a man-at-arms. So Marrier could use Defender from any position. So he could, if he got thrown out of position, he could still use that ability. I think I'll go after the Siren because I can also use Vavasur's ability to. I can use Vavasur's Sacrificial Stab, which deals a whole bunch of extra damage to Eldritch. And then Fribois. Even if he's in the rearmost position, he can use Come Hither. But I actually think Marley would still be better because Hound's Rush still deals extra damage to marked enemies. And then he has Blackjack. And now we just need Mercier. And I'd say we have a team. This may be the most thought I have put into a team composition yet. Let's see if that's enough. Alright. We're going to want a fair amount of food because we're going to be camping at least once. Some shovels, plenty of torches. Bandages, keys, and holy water. More food. And more torches. Let's also check. I'm actually going to drop, because I'll forget to do it if I wait until we're right before the boss fight, I'm dropping Judgment for Hand of Light. This way everyone, if they get pulled into position 1, can still inflict damage. And if they get pulled into position 4, they can still do something useful. Alright. And embark.
In financial desperation, I struck a bargain with the ancient things that surfaced in search of sacrifice when the moon was right. Their price was the delivery of an obscure idol, and one other item of more troubling portent. The pact struck. My newfound accomplices slipped silently beneath the brackish water. A fearful stirring at the edge of the torchlight betrayed a familiar witness, and gifted me with malign inspiration.
You know,
I always wondered what became of the unfortunate little waif.
You know, considering what you apparently did, I'm not entirely sure I'm comfortable being related to you, Mr. Narrator. Okay, so it's almost certain that the Siren is either here or here, but since this room has treasure in it, I'm gonna explore it anyway. And the first curio is just loot. That's good. That bodes well. Fortune smiles at last. We're like 5 seconds into the mission, but Fortune is finally smiling on us. Okay, the oracles are in stealth. That could be a problem. Well, in that case, let's Dazzling Light the Wide Mouth.
Impressive.
Oh, we can't use Cry Havoc from this position. Well, let's use Hound's Rush on the one that isn't stunned. In hindsight, I probably should have used Blackjack, but I can just finish it.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
What happens if I stun an enemy who's already stunned? Well, in this case, he resists it. And since he used... So... Did he not lose his stealth because Stress Wave missed? Or... That must be it, that he has to actually hit one of my guys with an attack to lose his stealth. Well, Damon's pull. And he resisted it, but the corpse is gone now. And Divine Comfort.
Soothed. Sedated.
Oh, may as well try and finish off the Oracle. I should be able to... Yep, I can reach it with Crush.
As the fiend falls, the faint hope blossoms.
Though I suppose, in hindsight, Hound's Rush wasn't even necessary there. Crush would have finished him off. Okay, he does not have the stun resistance buff anymore. Well, let's see if we can stun both of them. We can! Sacrificial stab on the one with more hit points.
Surges as the enemy crumbles.
Ah, 12 healing. Yeah, I'm not minding the slight decrease to the Vestal's maximum HP.
Obliterated.
Alright, and we got 12.
Brought
Alright.
low and driven into the mud.
Let's use a key. We just got 12 crests. Just as loot. Okay, what to drop? I see the dog treats can be very useful in the actual boss fight. I'm actually going to drop both the gold and the torch, and one stack of torches to have enough space. We have numerous extra torches. And we found a secret door. And another key.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Okay, we have no room for anything. I'm not comfortable with how much extra stress you take from the heads, and while I can sell them for gold, they don't really sell for that much, so I'm gonna... Let's see. I'm gonna drop the holy water and gamble that we won't have a curio interaction that uses it, and take the trapezohedron. And room battle with curio. Or we have to move back to the entrance first. And you guys couldn't have gotten... Wait, can I still go back there? I can. Okay. But no, I can't interact with the curio again to get the... Yeah, so we've missed out on it because they got hungry what is basically one game turn later than I needed them to. Because if they'd gotten hungry before we found the secret room, we would have had an extra space. Alright. Light us up a torch. I'll use Dazzling Light on the Stinger.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Vulnerability Hex on the Enchantress. The goal is to stun the Stinger and the Gladiator, and then kill the Enchantress this turn. I'm still using Rampart on the Gladiator. And he resisted both stun and move. Ow.
Unnerved, unbalanced.
2 damage per round for 5 rounds. That's a lot of damage. Well, let's see if we can finish off the Stinger.
Eradicated.
And we can! And Dazzling Light actually could do the job for the Enchantress. Alright. Let's actually see if we can stun the Gladiator. We can! And finish off the Enchantress.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
I'll use Divine Comfort. Could have used Dazzling Light to at least try to stun him again, but what with the increased stun resistance, may as well just finish him off.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
we got 3 deeds.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
I was expecting to end up finishing him off with Hound's Rush, but what exactly? I wonder where. I know that Hex of Vulnerability reduces. I think it just reduces the target's prot. I know it makes them more susceptible to damage. I'm actually going to open up with Blackjack to try and prevent this guy from using Barnacle Barrier. And Dazzling Light on the Gladiator, because he's the other main source of damage. And Vulnerability Hex on the Bulwark. Did 0 damage. Oh, it reduces his dodge, so all of that damage was just the damage that it inflicts. I'm gonna use Crush on the Bulwark because Hound's Rush, even if he's marked, won't kill him.
The ground quakes.
Now it will. Now it won't. Well, let's start with Sacrificial Stab. And good old Miss for the Old Gods. And Hound's Rush.
A decisive pummeling.
I underestimated just how high his prot actually is. Alright. Let's Dazzling Light the Gladiator.
The light. The promise of safety.
And miss, or well, and fail to stun. Yep, because of the plus 25% prot, he now has 75% prot, and I have a team with very minimal damage over time. Well, I can at least reduce that from 75 to 60. But this is gonna be a long fight. Well, fortunately, Hound's Rush can be used from any of the 3 rear positions to do almost nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna use Crush. It won't kill him, but he has so many hit points that I can't finish him. I couldn't have one-shotted him with anything else. This guy is going down the hard way. But we will kill him. This should do it, and it does it. And Daemon's Pull. And Crush. And crit. This line will not break. And yeah, I'm going to let the So they pushed Marley out of position. They realized that it wasn't really negatively affecting him, and so it's like, alright, you know what, never mind, we're pulling him back into position. I'm actually going to use Weakening Curse, because Marley just went, so he isn't going to be able to take advantage of the mark, but Mercier can take advantage of the reduced prot. And now they're moving him again. So they can't decide where to put him. Alright, let's use Vulnerability Hex on the Enchantress. I'll use Divine Grace because I believe the Houndmaster is the only one who's damaged at this point. Could have probably prevented Rend to the Old Gods. Oh, it didn't do much. And Hound's Rush on the Enchantress, since she's marked, and crush on the gladiator, because he isn't. Unfortunately, the Houndmaster's stress is already a little high. And Sacrificial Stab will finish the job.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
And no point in holding on to the Jade. Yeah, let's use the shovel on the Giant Oyster. 50, okay, so 800 gold is what's left. That's actually less valuable than any of the stuff we're carrying right now. Because so much of it has immediate practical uses. I mean, I know that as soon as I drop, oh, that's not. And we're completely out of position. Alright. Yeah, move back anyway. Alright, vulnerability hex on the thrall.
Blow.
Alright, what does Howl do? It misses, apparently. Okay. Hound's Rush on the marked thrall. Please don't explode. Okay, we can finish it off next turn. Okay, move 2 forward, and now we are close enough to being in position. Because I can still use Target Whistle and Hound's Rush no matter what position it's in. Let's see if we can stun the ghoul. We cannot. I'm not taking any risks using Sacrificial Stab on the thrall. Target Whistle on the maggot. And Rampart will move him forward 1. So Rampart the ghoul, and it'll resist the stun, but that's okay because it moved him forward. You know, I want to make really, really sure the maggot dies, so I'm adding Weakening Curse to Target Whistle. So now it's at minus 40% prot. And I'm just going to keep hitting the ghoul with stunning abilities until that happens.
A blazing star is born.
Okay, I feel vindicated now. It actually took... Let's see, Defender or... Let's just use Crush. It actually took both Weakening Curse and Target Whistle to take this guy out. Oh, Vulnerability Hex. Dealt 0 damage, but he's marked now. One of these days I'm going to remember that I have Cry Havoc. And I'm going to use it. Alright. What's his stun resistance? In total is 120. And this only has stun 120 base, so Rampart can't possibly stun him. I'll just have to keep hitting him then. He's also unholy and not Eldritch, so there's little reason to use Sacrificial Stab.
How quickly the tide turns.
Wow. That's quite a bit of bleeding, too. Oh, Bandage and Weakening Curse. I'm just gonna pile on the extra damage sources on this guy. And Hound's Rush.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Okay. The only thing that's really worth dropping something for is the bust, and I'm gonna gamble that we won't find a third chest that would benefit from the skeleton key, and drop the skeleton key for 3 busts. Alright, get everybody back in normal position. And I'm gonna take a risk and not spend food to heal the occultist yet. Though we are gonna need to make camp soon. And that went exactly the way I hoped it would. Because I can do that now instead of spending a finite resource to heal him. We can call it deep. is actually a good opportunity to do something we've needed to do for a while. Alright, so I'm going to move the Houndmaster back one. And I'm going to have him use Cry Havoc a couple of times. It may not be able to counteract the effects of Stress Wave, though. Okay, that's one of them down.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
Alright, and Cry Havoc. Didn't work on himself, but it worked on everyone else. Alright. And the Oracle is down. That did a lot of damage. That healed a lot of hit points. Alright, and Rampart. Knocking him back is fine. I can use Damon's Pull to bring him back into range. I'm not done with you yet. Unfortunately, it's been mostly reducing the stress of the people who lead to have their stress reduced. I cannot talk today. Alright, and there we go.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Okay, gonna take the risk and give up the shovels and grab the crests. Let's see what Anti-Venom would do. Nothing. I'm guessing that's a Holy Water interaction, but we don't have any Holy Water. Room battle with treasure. Okay, this is the point. After this battle, I think, is when I'm going to have everyone rest. Alright, Dazzling Light on the Bulwark, which he resists. Hound's Rush on just one of the wide mouths. And let's use Rampart on the Bulwark, see if we can stun him. We can! And Vulnerability Hex on the Bulwark. I'm just gonna stack things that increase the damage he takes until he dies. Alright, Seaward Slash has become terrifying thanks to the increased difficulty. And he used Sea Breeze, that's not ideal, but it did, Alright, Weakening Curse.
Masterfully executed.
Okay, Seaward Slash at least missed this time. Oh, yay, Spearfishing. Oh, it does less damage at least. Okay, Hound's Rush. So, with his prot reduced and he's marked, it deals 8 damage. These guys are durable. Well, time for Crush. And Call of the Deep, which I believe increases his prot. Yes, it does. Well, let's use Hound's Rush again. Let's just use Sacrificial Stab. You know what? Nah, I'm gonna have the Vestal move back. I don't want to risk leaving her that far forward. That may have been a mistake, since if I'd used Hand of Light, I probably could have killed this guy. Well, Crush will finish him off. This guy's caused so much trouble, which I suppose is kind of the point. Alright. Just use Vulnerability Hex on the Oracle. Hound's Rush should be able to finish it off next turn. Almost. And he resisted the bleeding, too. Ho 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 ho! Divine Comfort with critical healing on the Man-at-Arms. And Rampart, which only did some regular damage. Okay, at least Seaward Slash missed. Alright, Hound's Rush. Even if he's not marked, that will still do a lot of damage. And I'll just use Sacrificial Stab to attempt and fail to finish off the Wide Mouth. Still using Divine Comfort. I don't want to risk anyone being at death's door. Let's try Retribution. We'll still finish off the Wide Mouth, but now he has Riposte. And that's the end of the Oracle. Alright, and Hound's Rush. And Sacrificial Step. And that is how we do that.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
And I think I'm actually going to miss out on the gold here. And let's use the firewood.
A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors.
Alright. There's really none of the occultist's camping skills are worth using. Alright, I'm going to use Hound's Watch to prevent nighttime ambush, because Hound's Watch is just as... Sanctuary would be better if someone had a mortality debuff, but no one does, so let's use Hound's Watch. And I'm going to use Man's Best Friend to reduce the Houndmaster's stress. And 6 legs good, 2 legs bad, apparently. And Therapy Dog to reduce everyone's stress. And Chant to further reduce everyone's stress. Except it's one companion and not all companions, and I misread the description. Well, reducing anyone's stress is good. The stress levels are actually down to a safe level.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
And 12 crests. I don't have another skeleton key, but I can accept that. And more loot already. This has really been a haul. Alright, and let's read the journal page. Sebastian's watch was his last. We were jolted during our evening's repast. The best we could make in these murky halls of our once great house, from the roar and flash of black powder. We dropped our bowls and hurried to him. All we could find was a spent pistol and a trail of blood leading into a maze of shadows. We press on. I won't be able to keep that one. But these journal pages really do set the tone.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
I'm gonna go north. Alright, we've got a hallway battle coming up. Cultists and a fish. I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere. Well, let's start with Vulnerability X. I like it when the occultist goes first. I forgot to reposition. Oh, moving the Vestal back. And Hound's Rush missed. Oh, Rampart then. Ow. And he's bleeding quite a lot, too. And he is also bleeding. Well, the Oracle shouldn't be in stealth anymore. And he's bleeding more. And he's gonna get hit. Okay, the third one missed. Alright. Well, Hound's Rush. And it hit this time. Divine Grace. And he has 20... Well, now it's down to 16 points of bleeding damage. I'm gonna fix that. And let's use Daemon's Pull on the Oracle. And get a critical, no less. And let's use Crush on this Gladiator, and I forgot to use a bandage on the Man-at-Arms. Well, he's only taking he's only got 4 more points of bleeding damage left. And Sacrificial Stab will end the Oracle. And because he's out of position, he's reduced to using Stumbling Scratch.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
And as long as he's out of position, he can only use Stumbling Scratch. So I'm not going to dispose of those corpses, and I'm just going to keep using Rampart. Because now he's effectively not a threat for 2 turns. And I should pretty easily be able to finish him off by then. And Vulnerability X.
Powerful blow.
And this should do it. I like seeing those kinds of damage numbers.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Okay. I'm gonna gamble that we're not gonna see any blighting in this dungeon and get that. I'm still holding on to the medicinal herbs for now, though. Just at this point, I think we have lost more supplies due to me throwing them out for lack of inventory space than we have due to using them to deal with challenges. And this is the boss room. 1 hallway battle and then the boss fight. Okay, this is going to be a challenging group. Fortunately, we surprised them. Alright. Biggest threat is the Cultist Gladiators. We'll start with Vulnerability X. And Dazzling Light on the Stinger to see if we can stop it from stunning us. We can't. Alright, Hound's Rush. And while he's not dead yet, Crush should be able to finish the job. Alright, the biggest threat is gone. Well, Shocker could be a problem, it's not a massive problem. And Eldritch Push missed. It didn't miss, but it failed to displace the guy.
Ringing ears, blurred vision. The end approaches.
Alright. They're really focusing down on the Man-at-Arms. You know what? Let's use Cry Havoc. Nobody's marked. May as well try and reduce the stress levels. And Crush missed. And Eldritch Pull on the hero who most does not care about being forced out of position. Vulnerability Hex the Enchantress. And Hound's Rush the Enchantress. And even with the reduced dodge, it still misses. Let's use Divine Comfort. Get everybody topped up on health. And Crush missed too. We've been having some accuracy issues this way. The torch level isn't even low. Well, let's try Hound's Rush again. And this time it worked. And Sacrificial Stab, that'll end him. Okay. We've pretty much got this under control at this point. A shovel, some citrine, and some gold.
At least promises success.
We don't really have the ability to carry any of that, and I'm saving the dog treats for the boss fight. You know, we haven't used the medicinal herbs for anything. A torch, maybe? Didn't really think so, but there's no way the dog treats would have the effect, so it must be something we don't have any of. I'm guessing shovels.
The aquatic devils have remade the poor girl in their image. She is their queen and their slave.
Alright. And she opens up with Dazzling Light, and it worked too. Fortunately, Dazzling Light still increases the torch level. Well, I'm going to increase the torch level a little more, and then open up with Vulnerability Hex.
Well struck.
Okay, Pressure Crash. Okay, so it's basically a stress attack. And Hound's Rush. And Devour. Okay, how much bleeding is that? Only 6 points of damage. Okay, she at least used Dazzling Light and not a healing. Alright, Weakening Curse. She resisted the debuff. Alright. Well, oh, right. Dog Treats. Increase the Hound's accuracy and damage for a few rounds. And so when I don't increase his accuracy, he hits, and when I increase his accuracy, he misses. It's like we're in the mirror universe. And since she's stunned, she can't use Song of Desire this turn. Let's do some quick healing. And, okay, so 125%, this has 120% base. May as well use Hound's Rush. Does less damage because she's not marked, but it still does some damage. Now she's marked. And use Song of Desire on the Vestal again. Now let's start with Rampart. Now, Weakening Curse. Let's see if she resists that debuff. She did. Twice. And here comes Devour. As long as the Vestal doesn't start healing her, we're probably okay. I mean, the damage we're taking is tough, but the Vestal can repair the damage that the Siren is causing on the occasional turn that the Vestal is on our team. Right. May as well treat the bleeding, because we're not going to encounter worse bleeding. And Rampart again. I had the most tranquil dream. The mark is worn off, but since the cultist is going first this time, we can inflict it again. And it becomes meaningless because the Houndmaster is not on our team anymore. Not entirely sure what effect that has unless he ends up targeting the... let's use Rampart because she doesn't have increased stun resistance. Now let's go with Weakening Curse. This is actually remarkably helpful, because I don't believe that the Siren has any abilities that deal extra damage to marked enemies. Okay, we got a Pelagie Bulwark. Now we don't. He's temporarily not a problem. Still, this thing is durable. Right. May as well use a bandage. Oh, bleeding wore off. Well, vulnerability Hex, since the Houndmaster should get a turn. And fortunately, you cannot resist being marked. So... Ooh-hoo-hoo. That's good. I feel like, I may be remembering wrong, but I feel like I remember mind-controlled heroes being able to use healing abilities on the Siren before, but our Vestal hasn't done so this round. Ah, great, she resisted the stun. Okay, I think we're at the point where we probably actually need to kill the Pelagie Bulwark. Well, start with Weakening Curse, because since the Houndmaster is stunned, we're not using Hound Rush this round. And one of these days I'll remember the dog treats again. Right. And Crush. Unfortunately, Bulwarks are also quite durable. Appropriate to the name, I suppose. Okay, Hand of Light. Right. And Sacrificial Stab. And she uses Song of Desire on the Vestal again. Oh, great. So apparently there is a chance that she'll use healing abilities. At least that missed. The good news is the Siren herself is not actually very dangerous. Ho ho! He resisted the bleeding, so I still need to hit him one more time. But I can do that. Devour, and we're out of bandages now. Please don't heal it. Great. Well, let's see if we can finish it with Sacrificial. We cannot. Alright. Well, how about Crush? Nope. This thing just will not quit. Okay. Divine Comfort.
Sedated.
Okay, that's an improvement in the situation for us. Weakening Curse. She's around 50% health, too. 85 is half of 180, I think. It's half of 170. And he keeps using Target Whistle, which is actually the least destructive thing he could be doing. Okay, Crush at least does hit pretty hard. Okay, Sacrificial Stab. That hits very hard, especially when it's a critical. Okay. Pressure Crash does a lot of damage, but I'm okay with that. And not only is he using Target Whistle, he's using it on the same person again. Does inflict a debuff, but that's manageable. Alright. And Divine Grace. Whoa. Those criticals, they are nice. Rampart, since she's already not taking extra damage and missed anyway. Vulnerability Hex, gambling that she does not use Song of Desire on the Houndmaster. I gambled wrong. And I know it's theoretically possible for Song of Desire to fail, but the odds of it doing so are very low, and it's kind of an interesting situation when she uses Song of Desire on the Houndmaster, because on the one hand, the Houndmaster is one of my more damaging heroes. On the other hand, he has so many abilities that are not a threat to me, that if she mind controls him, he's not going to cause very many problems for me. Whereas if she were to mind control the Vestal, she could potentially heal herself, and if she were to mind control the Occultist, she could do all kinds of terrible things to him. But here, the most damaging thing he's done so far is Blackjack. I mean, it ain't great, but it's not really that bad. So it's kind of a mixture. Both sides have reduced firepower when she mind controls. Alright. Okay, this could be an issue. I don't normally like to attack the mind control people. Well, now I know she won't use it on the Houndmaster. Alright. Hound's Rush. I don't normally like to attack the mind control people, but I'm using Dazzling Light on our own Man-at-Arms, because if he's stunned, well, fuck. If he were stunned, he wouldn't use Defender. Well, fortunately, he didn't use Defender. Alright. Hound's Rush again. Ooh. Unless she heals herself, we've won. But even if she does, well, Sacrificial Stab will finish the job.
Vile queen of the aforesaid depths. She has no place in the sane world.
Ah, unique greaves for an Aura Blessed. That could be interesting when we get one. And a Blight Charm. And the quest is complete. Let's return to the hamlet. Everyone's stress level is extremely high. I do not want to push our luck. Yeah, we didn't get a whole lot of gold off of this one. We got a ton of heirlooms. Got 18 crests from the reward, and a further 24 as loot. Not even 24, it's more than that, along with 3 busts, 3 portraits, and 6 deeds. 4 portraits and 9 deeds, and 42 crests. And Vavasur is evasive. That's not good. Plus 10%, minus 10% death blow resistance. That's... When I have the money, I am probably going to take her to the asylum and get that fixed, because that could be very bad. Admittedly, I suppose death blow resistance only matters if you've made a mistake, but I make enough mistakes that I really don't want to take that risk.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Well, we're still back up to having 12,000 gold, and I think we can upgrade the guild. So we need 24 portraits. So we have 17, so we need 7. So if I give up 42 crests, we will have 7 portraits. And now, we can upgrade the guild to Instructor Mastery level 4.
Every creature has a weakness. The wise hero trains for what she will face.
And not only that, but we also have the means to upgrade the stagecoach. So let's upgrade the hero barracks.
Word is traveling. Ambition is stirring in distant cities. We can use this.
question is, do I actually want any of these heroes? Well, I have 4 empty spaces. I may as well grab them, and then I can... Next week, I can dismiss them if I get heroes that are of better classes. So for now...
She searches where others will not go, and sees what others will not see.
And... after our next quest, we can come back for even more. Anyway, we've been at this for quite a while. That boss fight took quite a lot, actually. But I'd forgotten how durable the Siren is from my fight with the weaker version of the Siren. But, well, that's going to be the end for this part. Thank you all for watching. As usual, I love you all, and I will see you next time.